Alright, man, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Key coming at y'all boys with a brand new video, and we got that boy Lil Durk, man. They say once the feds got you, they ain't gonna let you go. So, we already know the rundown. He got into it with Quando Rondo and them. Von dies. They shoot at Quando Rondo, kill his cousin. He's jammed up for that murder for hire. And then they got another one in Chicago for his brother's killer, who they got. And I want to get into something specific about this topic, but I'm gonna wait on it until the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned in. But let's go ahead and get into this second murder for hire.
Everybody wins when the family feels.
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. And I can't go like Mitch in the hallway. As a singer, he won't smoke shit. You can bleed whatever you want, I got your folks here.
Multiple shootings, which killed 2 people, injured 1 police officer in Harvey. That chaos started outside of a nightclub.
All the circumstances and details around, you know, these accusations. What I do know, though, is that Lil Durk's mission to build financial literacy for children across the city and making other critical investments for the children of the city is where his heart, you know, has been. And I mean, there's no secret to the trauma that he grew up in and how he has worked to turn that trauma into opportunities for other people.
The feds got an over 90% conviction rate, but a huge part of that come from 80% taking a plea. Then you got Chicago rapper Lil Durk, who went at 20% that's taking it to trial. So you expect all the tricks to be played, and that's what the feds doing today. Last week, the Chicago rapper lawyer had came out and said the murder for hire charges are bogus. Basically, it's no real evidence. Now, the day of Lil Durk hearing, it seemed they come out and connect him to another murder for hire. But they didn't charge him. They just talking about him being mentioned in this murder for hire.
They definitely don't have enough evidence. If they had enough evidence, he would have been hit with that superseding indictment. Now, what I have learned behind the scenes is that the D-Thang's killer indictment is sealed. And the reason is they're trying to hide people's names who are still freeing on the street, who they might end up either making them snitch or charging them as well.
In 2022, with a young man we'll later discuss, who allegedly, according to the feds, was retaliation for Lil Durk's brother who lost his life just months prior, who we also go over later in the video. Today we go over that case on this new murder for hire that the feds is trying to connect Lil Durk. We also see where we stand today and take a look at the 2 people who's been arrested for that murder going on a year now. So before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Grammy Award-winning artist Lil Durk has an older brother named Dante Banks, who's also known as D-Thang. D-Thang allegedly lived in Chicago, Gresham's neighborhood. In 2021, D-Thang was 32 years old when he went to a club named Club O. It was June 7, 2021. The club was located on the 1700 block of S. Halsted Street. According to a Harvey police officer, he heard gunfire and noticed a person with a gun at the club. As he got closer to the club, he heard more gunfire and an altercation, when suddenly he saw D-Thang get shot. Then the officer got hit. D-Thang didn't survive. May he rest in peace. 11 condolences to his family. The officer was in good condition a day after.
Multiple shootings, which killed 2
people. I ain't gonna cap though. You can only know what you're gonna do in this situation when you get there. You got all this money, you got all these people around you, and you know the person who killed your brother. You ain't gonna pay to get him knocked off? I don't know. We all think that we'll be able to get away with it.
That allegedly was get back the same day. I think that was false. He was identified as Seneca Prince, 39 years old, and he was shot to death on the 100 block of West 155th Street in Harvey, Illinois, as mentioned. But here's the thing. His wife made a GoFundMe, and the details in that GoFundMe let it be known this ain't had nothing to do with Lil Durk. She said that Harvey PD brought a group of young individuals to her house so that her husband, Seneca, could identify them for an incident earlier that night. She said they were ultimately released and came to kill her husband. So if it was retaliation, it was for what a Harvey police officer did. But now in December of 2024, the feds coming out and saying that Lil Durk is connected to real revenge 7 months later after D-Thang lost his life. January 27, 2022. 2 men were accused of plotting, along with others who wasn't identified at the time, to murder Stephon Mack in exchange for money. Prosecutors said Mack was shot and killed by a gunman who got out of a car and opened fire on him as he walked out of the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located on the 420 West 100th Street on the afternoon, January 27, 2022. Me, Mack, rest in peace. I love condolences to his family. But it wouldn't come until almost 2 years later when authorities were making arrests. November 30th, 2023. Anthony Montgomery Wilson, also known as AJ and Mike City.
Oh yeah, he gonna tell. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He gonna tell. Oh my God.
AJ and Preston Powell, also known as Marley. Now, fam, it's important you guys know this. Mack wasn't arrested.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Look, they just gotta show the jury this photo. You're guilty. Who big ass, like,
also
no
known
offense,
as Marley.
but
Now, fam,
like,
it's important you guys know this. Mack
nah.
wasn't arrested for D-Thang's murder. So if he did it, only he would know that and the people close around. But what we do know is Mack did affiliate himself with people who was known enemies of Lil Durk.
No, you invite him. Oh yeah. We got them just. That's what I'm talking about. That bitch be playing. Man, damn.
Man, you gotta get your girlfriend, you gotta be faithful, bro.
I gotta go up on
that
that
album. You gotta get like me. You gotta get like me. You gotta
go up on that album. I'm out of that though.
Now, according to
Now, if you know, you know. Shit, Melly and Lil Durk are supposed to be sworn enemies. Ooh.
Anthony and Preston Powell indictment for the demise of Mack, this how it went down. Now, Stephon Mack, as we mentioned, lost his life January 27, 2022. He was known as Youngin. He was shot and killed outside the Youth Peace Center of Roseland. According to the website, YPC is a non-profit organization offering youth-related workshops that mentor teens and teach youth the skills necessary to avoid conflict of his violence. According to records and information obtained from YPC, at the time of his death, Mack was a YPC participant. Based on the video surveillance footage obtained from YPC.
So let me get this straight. You sitting right here at the youth center trying to tell these folks don't be you, but you still commit murders. The hypocrisy is fucking insane. After I kill a nigga, I go to the Youth Peace Center and I pray and I do all this shit and I hope nothing else happens to me. What the fuck?
See, at 2:22 p.m., Mack was still inside YPC. A 2014 black Chrysler 300 sedan with tinted windows, driven and occupied by the shooters, into YPC's parking lot. The Chrysler was initially parked
all
on the
camera.
east
They
side
didn't even walk
of
down.
the parking lot.
See, look, I'm not saying that they could have got away with this. The feds is on it. The feds would have figured it out eventually. But what I am saying is, y'all parked at the place that you going to kill the dude, that you know he's at because you got the drop. You didn't park down the street or nothing. Y'all just
in YPC. But at approximately 2:25 p.m., the Chrysler moved to the west side of the parking lot, facing eastward. The shooters remained in the Chrysler for approximately 40 minutes, apparently waiting for Mack to leave YPC. Based on video surveillance footage obtained by YPC, Mack exited YPC and began to walk across the park.
So they found where he worked at. Okay, cool. Because if you hear a lot of songs, if you got beef up in your city, better not work no 9 to 5. Like, I think Slime Life Shawty said that. No. Hot Boy said that. Because we'll pull through your job, drive through, like drive by, I got you. Ha ha. Like what he said. That's crazy. Isn't that ironic? You committing murders working at the Youth Peace Center.
Parking lot towards his car at around 2:59 p.m. 2 individuals
was that
emerged
him right
from the
there?
Chrysler, one from the driver's side door, shooter A, and the other from the front passenger side door, shooter B. They began shooting at Mack, who fled eastbound away from the shooters. Based on video surveillance footage obtained from YPC as well as the crime scene reports provided by Chicago Police Department, shooter A pursued Mack on foot. After crossing the parking lot, shooter A shot Mack from a distance. Mack eventually collapsed on the other side of the nearby train tracks. Shooter A ran over to Mac and shot him and killed him. Based on video surveillance footage from a nearby community center and residence, after killing Mac, Shooter A fled eastbound on foot away from YPC. Shooter A proceeded southbound to 111th Street and then eastbound to 111th Street. Around that time, an individual was observed walking around the backyard of a vacant residence located at 318 West 111th Street. Based on records and information provided by the Chicago Police Department, later that day, law enforcement recovered a Ruger AR-556 pistol bearing serial number 858-61994 in the backyard of a vacant residence located at 318 West 111th Street. And after running
the hell? See, look, bro, when they doing shit like this, nigga, don't nobody even live here. Why are you checking this random house and you find a gun? Like, maybe they got a tip or something, but it's just like when shit like this is discovered, nigga, take the gun with you. You better off having the gun with you until you find somewhere to put it, then throwing it somewhere. Like,
on that firearm,
you thought you was gonna
it was
go
the
back
same
and get
firearm used to take out the life of Mac. Now, shortly after the shooting, YPC's security guard stepped outside into the parking lot and was shot in the leg by Shooter B. After shooting the security guard, Shooter B fled westbound from YPC on foot. The shooters abandoned the Chrysler in YPC's parking lot. Now, apparently, one of the shooters had a Facebook called Slammed You Out. They noticed that when one of the suspect's moms was contacted by the FBI and was trying to contact her son. And this is where, allegedly, Lil Durk come in, like the first allegations from the first indictment.
The FBI said, look, nigga, we know you committed this murder, nigga. We don't want you, we want Durk. We'll give you 20. You ain't gonna do life. We'll give you 20. Maybe even a manslaughter charge. Say that somebody threatens your family. We want Durk. That shit crazy, bro.
Messages alluding that Lil Durk is on the opposite side of those text messages when asked about compensation for these murders. In Lil Durk warrant application and probing Mac's death, federal investigators analyzed jail phone calls, social media postings, and firearm purchases, as well as lyrics from Lil Durk's song, Aha, released about a month after the shooting.
But look, though, this is another thing that I'm going to say. Obviously, they don't have enough evidence or they would charge him. What it's mostly going to be on is the shooters. If the shooters implicate Durk, he's cooked. If the shooters don't implicate Durk, because they could say anybody could be Durk. Well, no, they said Lil Durk. Oh, fuck. It's going to be a tricky one to beat, but basically, as long as the shooters don't flip, he should be able to skate away.
You can bleed whatever you want, I got your folks here.
The warrant application goes on to say Montgomery, Wilson, and Powell may have exchanged text messages concerning payment of Mac's murder. Montgomery Wilson was arrested on unrelated charges a few weeks after Mac's death. A detective with the New Lenox Police Department then applied for and was granted a warrant to search the contents of his cell phone. Investigators then discovered a two-person text message conversation that mentioned OTF, which is the label founded by Lil Durk. Prosecutors have linked the alleged murder-for-hire plot in Los Angeles. On February 10, 2022, one of the people in the text conversation asked, "What's up with OTF?" To which the other person responded, "Nothing." 8 days later, in the same conversation, another text message read, "Did Durk give you that money?" End quote. And that was it, fam. And if it's just that, we see why they ain't indict him yet. But fam, that goes to show you how they play. It's a dirty game out here. As of now, they trying to connect two murders on Lil Durk. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to say Cash is next. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. But this was the latest on the controversy between Lil Durk being locked up on murder for hire. Let me know how you guys.
Yeah, so this is what I want to say. I don't know, and I could just be going off on a tangent here, but I honestly feel like and think that with a lot of these murders, the police or the feds know who did it. And instead of picking them up, they leave them on the street to see what's going to happen next. Are they going to commit another murder? Is somebody going to come murder them? Is somebody going to murder them so that we can tie them to somebody bigger? What's next? I don't believe that there's no way in hell somebody as high profile as D-Thang gets killed and nobody knows what happened. If the streets know, the police know, because the streets is connected to the police. We already know. Everybody telling. I honestly do feel like maybe them folks knew who killed D-Thang and just didn't do anything. Because 80% of the murders in Chicago, even though Harvey is just another subsection of Illinois, it's not Chicago, but 80% of murders go unsolved. There's something in these people's heads that makes them think, as long as if I don't die, I'll never go down for this body. It's strange. But it's a cycle that repeats itself. And it is what it is. But I definitely do think that the feds is going to come and they're going to bombard him with a bunch of different charges. If they can find anything like the Atlanta shooting, if they can tie him to it, tie him to that, do whatever they can to bury him and make sure that even if these charges don't stick, something's going to stick and we're going to give you a shit ton of time behind bars. And another thing is like, okay, boom. If y'all knew they did all this shit and you want to build a case, okay, cool. And the problem with it is that these things don't have statute of limitations. And even if it did, murder would be something that has statute of limitations of like 10 plus years, not 2, 3, 4, like we're seeing. These murders were committed 2 years ago, 3 years ago, what all that other shit. At one point, do the feds have to say, okay, this is the end, we're going to charge everybody? You feel me? Like, you know this man commissioned this murder 2 years ago. You know he commissioned this murder a year and a half ago. Is it the simple fact that you don't think you have enough evidence? Or do you just want to leave these people on the streets to do enough bullshit, to commit enough murders, to just bury them? That I don't know. But I would be interested to know the answer. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Get in the comment box. Tell me how you felt about this video. It's your boy Key, checking in, checking out. We gone.
But she's from Nicaragua. Thought you was Persian love. Are we turning?